Alright, what is up, what is up? What is going on, everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream. Hopefully I can get both the chat pulled up here. I'll probably go back and forth in between the chat and this little presentation that I kind of developed for you guys. I'm going to try to get it to start at the beginning. But literally, we're just going to talk start to finish about how to take control of your money and how you can become not just a millionaire, but a deca millionaire. If you don't know what that means, it means you have 10 million dollars or more worth of net worth to your name. We're not going to get into any type of much really, other than what obviously I love the most, which you guys know is all about investing in individual stocks, IRAs, mutual funds, all that good stuff. Pretty much digging in, doing the work yourself. Other than that though, sorry about that, go ahead and mute that real quick. Other than that, we're not going to talk about real estate. We're not going to talk about all the different sources of income. You guys know how to go get money, essentially. So we're just going to, a lot of people get stuck, which is surprising. It's just basics that they don't teach anymore. Especially for like people that are maybe like 16, 17, 18, even clear up into 20s and 30s. Probably, I'm sure, in 40s, 50s too. There's people that just don't understand how money works. Essentially, it's not just about saving money, because literally if you just save money, if you just stash it under your bed, if you just put it in a plain ass savings account that makes less than 2%, you're not even keeping up with inflation, guys. You're essentially just burning money. You're losing money. You think, okay, I'm saving this money, but you're really losing money, because inflation rate is close to 2% right now. Last I checked, it's at like 1.97, maybe even higher now. This was like months ago. But either way, your money is essentially losing 2% of its value per year, which means your investments need to be at least 2 to 3% just to even break even with inflation and for you to actually be quote-unquote making money. And a lot of you guys are making maybe 2%, 3%, 5%, and just your plain 401k, you don't even know what you're invested in. So we're just going to go over that stuff and really the basic stuff with budgeting. You read the description, I'm sure. If not, it's obviously in the description box. Before we get started, go ahead and check out the chat really quick and make sure that our stream is doing alright first and foremost. It looks like we are good. We got one of you tuning in so far. But yeah, I'm not really going to wait around. I don't want to make this like super long or anything. I'm trying to cut down on the times. The last few streams we've only been about half an hour, so hopefully we can stick with half an hour or less. But as you can see, obviously take control of your money from broke or average to deca millionaire. And why do I say broke instead of average? Because average in America today is broke. You're living paycheck to paycheck. You look good, but you're literally one little hiccup away from going bankrupt, having tons of debt or more debt, and you have no emergency fund. Most Americans today, I think it's like 2/3 of Americans today, would not be able with cash to cover $1,000 or less emergency, which we're going to talk about here in a second. What does that mean? Your transmission goes out, something that's like $350 or anything in general, health thing comes up, you don't even have the funds to cover it. You're going to have to go to a credit card, personal loan, have some family loan you money, something like that. So we're going to go ahead and try this out. I'm using the Google, Google Docs or whatever, Google Drive. This is my first time doing it, so it's going to be an experience. Get on a budget every month. This is obvious, right? But it's so amazing to me how when people actually do a budget for the first time, you literally feel like you've gotten a raise. And what do I mean by this? Because a lot of people, there's a lot of stuff, when you're just sliding a card, you don't even feel the transaction happening. And then you go to your accountant at the end of the year and you're like, wow, we made we made $60,000, $80,000 this year. I'd like to know where it all went. Well, it went on fucking stupid going out to eat every other day, lattes from Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, late night snack runs, just impulse stuff, going to a vacation that you couldn't afford, just all the stuff that starts to add up. And most of the time it's the little stuff. It's literally going to McDonald's, going to Starbucks, going to Dunkin' Donuts, going to Raising Cane's, just literally most of it is like, at least for me specifically, it was like going out to eat, just basic stuff you don't even think about, stuff that's $7 here, $2 there, $10 here. I mean, you get those little $5 to $10 6 days a week, 4 to 6 days a week. That's literally over $100, $200 a month right there that you didn't even think about spending. So literally, whenever you write a budget, it literally feels like you're getting a raise, because you're like, wow, I got such amount, $100, $2, $3, $5,000, not $2, $3, $5,000, like $200, $300, $500, sometimes $1,500 plus dollars available at the end of the month. What can I do with it now? We're going to talk about that as well. But a budget does not mean, what I don't want you guys to think about a budget is, it does not mean you can't do anything fun. It's literally just giving every dollar an assignment. That's why I love Dave Ramsey's app, Every Dollar, because it's a perfect way, it's a perfect name for a budgeting app, because that's all it is at the end of the day. It's giving every dollar a place to go. That way at the end of the month, end of the year, you're not just sitting there going, wow, I wonder where all my money went. You know exactly where it's going. You're going to put $100 towards gas, or $200, whatever. You're going to put, you have $1,000 for rent. You have about $2 to $4, whatever, $100 for groceries. You're going to have roughly, that's where, like, you need to sit down, write your bills out, figure, like for utilities, for example, always overestimate stuff that kind of changes. Utilities is a perfect example. We're about to move into a new place, and we don't know how much the utilities are roughly going to be. We've asked people around here, hey, how much is your utilities usually? And what are we doing? We're thinking, okay, electric's probably going to be somewhere around 100. Let's go ahead and overshoot it and say like 150. And you guys will see, like, I literally have an example of a budget just for me specifically for this next month coming up that I'll give you guys an example of. But literally, a budget is just telling every dollar where to go. You're just saying, okay, you're going over here, you're going over there, you're going over to the retirement fund, you're going over to the vacation fund, you're going to the clothes fund, you're going to savings, you're going to the emergency fund, and you're literally just assigning every dollar a place, essentially. I don't want you guys to think a budget is something that's like, a lot of times when you hear budget, people associate it with boring people. And budgeting, yes, it can be boring, but when you first do it, it's actually fun, because literally, like I said, you feel like you're getting a raise. So, just like I just made like a quick example for budgeting to get out of debt, because obviously you guys know that I had a Chase credit card. What I didn't mention to you guys, because I actually hated that I had to do it, with me, like obviously the huge job situation, I had a couple $100 worth of expenses myself. I burned through the emergency fund and whatnot. I had to get a very, very small credit card, a Capital One credit card. So that one I'm planning on obviously paying off this month. We'll talk about it here. Well, not this month. After I get my probably in the next 2 months, it'll be paid off, and then back to the Chase, obviously. But pretty much, I'll just run right through it. So obviously, you want to start out with the main stuff that you have to cover every month. So you start out with your income, bring home, gross, bring home, not before taxes, your actual bring home. So what I'm going to be bringing home in August is more than likely right around $1,900. You always want to underestimate. More than likely I'm going to bring around somewhere around 2 to 21, maybe even 2,200. Obviously it varies because I have side businesses. I can go do Favor, Uber Eats, maybe all that other stuff. But I know for a fact I'm going to at least bring home $1,900, period. So then what do? I start with rent. I'm lucky enough to, obviously, I'll be living with my girlfriend. We split expenses. If you're married couple, you obviously know that, like, all money's the same, etc. If not, I suggest you guys get on the same page about that. But either way, bills are split, essentially. Not married or anything right now. So $360 for rent, because our rent's it's going to be about $720. Internet is going to be about $60, so $30 on my end. Utilities, like I said, we're overestimating. We're pretty much saying that our electric and everything, gas, well, we're not going to have gas, but electric, water, sewage, all that, we're pretty much way overestimating. We're saying $300. It's probably going to be closer to $200, but always overestimate. That way, if you have more money, guess what? You have more money for the end goal that we'll talk about here in a minute. Gas and tolls, same thing. Overestimate on this stuff. I know more than likely my gas is only going to be about $125. I know that I only spend roughly $25 to $30 on tolls, which would be what, about $150 to $160, maybe $70. But again, overestimate, because if this gets knocked down 50, this gets knocked down 25, 30, that's $80 more I can go over here at the end of the month, or get pushed off, like if you have to overshoot something for groceries. We'll just get into that here. I'll just keep on explaining. Groceries, like to overestimate. $400 essentially for both of us combined for 2 people is more than enough. My Sprint bill, $92 obviously. My auto insurance down there is $150. it's about 145, but still, again, always overestimate. I'd rather have more money at the end of the month and be like, okay, cool, I got a little miniature emergency fund month by month, so to speak, which goes into my miscellaneous and hygiene. My miscellaneous and hygiene, this is kind of like my, what I like to call my month by month emergency fund, my month by month quote unquote play money, whatever you want to call it, because let's be real, guys, especially for hygiene, we might have to buy 1 stick of deodorant a month, maybe toothpaste, maybe once every few months you replace your tooth. Most of the stuff though is like less than $10 for sure. Like my shampoo is usually about $1 to $2. I get cheap shampoo. Occasionally, once every 3 months or so, I need like new hair gel or something. I need a haircut once a month, which I need right now really bad. But I mean, for the most part, this is my like going out to eat money, stuff like that, because guys just do not have a lot of hygiene stuff. Now women, you're probably gonna want this to be, I don't know, probably, my girlfriend usually does about 150. She's pretty conservative on what she buys as well. So again, you just have to adjust it to your specific needs. But again, when you're budgeting to get out of debt, especially, you need to know you're not going to be going to get like the high dollar shampoo. You're not getting high dollar, you're not getting like your nails done, ladies. You're not getting the most expensive, I don't know, makeup stuff that women use. Obviously, I'm not a woman, so I don't know about that stuff. And like guys, you're not going to be going to the most expensive place to get your hair cut. You're not going to be getting the most expensive gel or pomade or stuff like that. You're not going to be worrying about going and getting a new Gucci belt or stuff like that with this money. This is essentially, for me, it's more of like, again, if I'm on the rush in the morning, like I woke up late for work and I know I don't have time to make my lunch, it'll be my lunch money for work. I'll go to McDonald's or something, get stuff off the dollar menu. It's just a little miniature month by month emergency fund for me personally. And again, sometimes we'll splurge. We'll be like, okay, we've been doing good this month. We have some extra money. Let's go ahead and have a good meal. We deserve like 1 or 2 date nights a month, essentially. It's just that kind of stuff. Then obviously I have my business costs down here for like my mowing and everything else I do with like YouTube. Obviously I'm not like making money on YouTube, but there's still some expenses with this. It's all usually about 25 to 30 bucks a month. My Chase minimum payment, we'll get into that here in a minute, is 55, Capital One 25. Another thing you want to do with these, with all these payments, which I should have done but just came into my mind for you guys, is put the dates when everything is due. Why do you want to do that? Because obviously, unless if you're like lucky, I wish I got paid once a month. I hate getting paid every like week or 2 weeks or sporadic income. I wish I could get paid every single month, me personally, because then I can literally, once I get paid, I can go boom, 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 pay all my bills off, and then I know what I have for the rest of the month. Some people don't like that, but I do. But why? Most people get paid every 2 weeks, right? So what you're gonna want to do is know, okay, for this paycheck, this is going to be due, this is going to be due, this is going to be due. And what you're going to want to do is, as soon as you get that paycheck, pay all those bills. Don't wait until the due date, because what are you going to do? You're going to be more than likely to go squander it in some miscellaneous stuff. You're going to overspend possibly on groceries. It's just amazing how when you procrastinate stuff, when the money's there, it can be gone like just instantly. I mean, I don't even know how to say it. It's just, why wait? Why procrastinate? This is where procrastination essentially gets wiped out of your life, and you'll notice it feels like a huge weight being taken off your shoulders when you just literally get in the groove of just paid, and then you don't even have to worry about any more bills for like at least another 2 weeks. Then when that other 2 weeks comes around, paid, and then if you know that, okay, well, most of my expensive bills line up, like let's say you have rent, utilities, your toll road, if you have tolls, toll road bill, your insurance, like let's just say your most expensive stuff is due in like one paycheck, well then go ahead and delegate some of that money from the previous paycheck as well. Like let's say you have, after your first round of bills or whatever, you have $200 still available, like not including what you already budgeted for groceries, gas, all that good stuff. After your basic expenses, say you still have $200 left over. Well, in like my case here, I'll go ahead and knock out that auto insurance, $150, because then boom, it's just one of those things where once you actually start getting in the groove of doing this stuff, it's really easy. It's secondhand nature. It's just one of those things where you don't just make the monthly budget. The monthly budget is your map, And then from there, every paycheck you're going to want to sit down and be like, okay, let's go ahead and pay these bills, get them out of the way. Okay, we still have this much left over for groceries, just have this much left over for gas. What else needs to be paid and what's not necessarily going to be covered by the next paycheck? Okay, let's go ahead and cover it. It's just one of those things where once you start doing it, it makes a lot more sense. Okay, so you see my total expenses down here, and then my Planet Fitness, obviously. Total expenses just over $1,400, $1,441. So what's left over? $459, not including, obviously, what could be possibly available. So between, again, $400 and $500. That kind of looks like a car payment, right? So if you have, notice that I have no car payment here. I don't have any, like, leases, like, anything stupid, personal loans. I mean, I have the credit cards, obviously. But notice once you get these out of your life, that's $80 right there freed up. $80 per month. We already went over what like $50 and $100 per month invested every single month can do for your retirement. But that's a whole nother subject. So total money left, $459. So what are you going to do? You're going to, I'll talk about this even more, but we're essentially going to start with step number, I hope this is the next slide. Yeah, we're going to start with step number 1, which is going to be, and this is kind of, a lot of it goes hand in hand, honestly, with, like, Dave Ramsey's plan, but I also, like, have my own, like, twists and whatnot. First step is obviously build your emergency fund of $500 to $1,000. I've talked about this before. $500 if you bring home less than $25,000 a year. Essentially, if you bring home less than $2,000 per month, just build up $500. It'll take you about a month, maybe a month and a half, couple paychecks. But get that as soon as possible. If you want to get it done super fast, go out there, have a garage sale, sell some stuff on Facebook, eBay, find stuff around the house. If you have an extra TV you don't use as often, sell the TV. Just find a way to get this money as soon as possible. And then step number 2 is obviously pay off all your debts, smallest to largest. A lot of people are going to be like, well, shouldn't you pay? This is why I said forget about the interest here. Because a lot of people are going to think, well, wouldn't the smartest thing be to pay off the highest interest first? Which, technically speaking, yes. But like Dave Ramsey even always says, if we were that good at math, would we really be in debt to begin with? Because obviously we weren't too smart if we went out and borrowed money at 18, 15, 25, whatever amount percentage of money, because we know that's stupid. So don't even think about the interest here. Just think about it as I'm paying off this debt, period, end of story. So you're going to, and besides, when you start out with the smallest to largest, most people's small debt, if we go back, you can see my smallest debt here is $270. And my total left is roughly $450 per month. So after I get the emergency fund done and I tackle that first debt, you start to notice, hey, I can do this. Like a lot of people have 3, 4, 5, 10 different debts. And most of the smaller ones are like $250, $300, $100 here. Like just, again, the small nickel and dime stuff. When you start paying off those small debts, you just start to like build up more confidence because you start to realize I can do this. Whereas whenever you go to pay off the highest interest, it might be something like a car or student loan or something that's $10, $20, $30, $50,000. It just feels like you're climbing Mount Everest essentially. So when you start up and you just slowly build up that confidence, by the time you get to that final debt, which by the way, by knocking out those smallest debts, you have more minimum payments amount of money available, 25, 55, 75. You have all that extra money. It's kind of the debt snowball, so to speak. You have all that extra money to just knock out that high debt within months, maybe a couple years at the most, depending on your income and everything, obviously. So it's more about psychologically than actual numbers here. Let me go to the chat to see if we have any questions really quick. Sure don't. Are we still doing okay on the stream overall? Damn, we're already at 19 minutes. Anyways, get back to the presentation. I need a drink really quick. Sorry about that, guys. So while you're doing this, you're going to stop all investing. A lot of people aren't investing anyways, let's be real. Only 13% of Americans are investing in the stock market as we speak. But for here, you're going to stop all investing, period. Even the matches, if you have matching retirement, which I know a lot of people do, you're just going to stop it all, period. Why? Because whenever you pay off debt, you're going to have so much more money to actually invest that it's literally going to cancel out that couple months, at the most couple years that your $50 to $100, $200 contribution is going to even matter at that point. So that's why you stop investing. And then after you get done with those 2 steps, you're going to kind of do step 3 and 4 and obviously 5 all kind of at the same time. Step 3, you're going to invest 20% of your income into, I love the word Roth because it grows tax-free, meaning when you pull it out at the right time with no penalties, you are pulling it out total tax-free because you're paying tax as you put it in, essentially. You're going to invest 20% of your income into like Roth IRAs, Roth 401ks, whatever you can get your hands on, essentially, and individual stocks, which we'll talk about here in a minute. While doing number 4, obviously, you're going to finish your emergency fund. Again, you're kind of intertwining these, and it doesn't have to be exactly 20%. It just depends on your income, what you have going on with life, everything like that. But you're going to try to invest at least 20% of your income while also continuing to finish your emergency fund. I like saying to have 6 months worth of expenses. Why? Because let's be real, we never know when the next economic meltdown is going to happen. We know lots of people can lose their jobs. So whenever shit hits the fan, so to speak, I would like to have a good half year worth of expenses because we know it can get really bad for sometimes years. So I want to have at least 6 months worth of expenses built up. That way, if it ever happens, heaven forbid it happens to like you or me specifically, we'll at least have that 6 months to kind of fall back on, go job hunting, maybe go find another skill. Start a new business of our own, something like that specifically where you're not just freaked out after 1, 2, or 3 months. And when doing this, do not invest it. Don't put it in a mutual fund. Don't put it in a 401k, anything like that. Maybe put it in like a money market, something that you can access easily without having penalties or anything like that. This would be good for, again, the Acorns app, something that can possibly make you, here, I'd put this in a moderately conservative. I know that Acorns has like where you can do like super conservative, moderate, moderately aggressive, and then like really aggressive. I would do either the very conservative or just a step up, one of the 2 conservative portfolios. That way you're not risking, again, losing that money or anything like that. But yeah, this is where you just got to do your math. If you know that your bills, like mine, roughly $1,500 a month, $1,500 a month times 6 months would be what, 6,000, and then 5 times 6 is what, like 3,000. So I would need roughly about 9 to 10. I'd probably say $10,000 for a lot of people would be enough money. But again, you have to do the math for you specifically. And might as well do it where you're living comfortably while you're living off of your emergency fund. So like $1,500, I might want to beef that up to $2,000 per month to have that extra security blanket. So then I'd want to say $10,000 to $12,000. Again, just do what feels best for you and your situation. And then obviously at the same time, get rich and give along the way. And this is where you finally have fun, guys. You did all the hard work. You paid off the debt. You have your emergency fund. You have also, by the way, I didn't put this in here, but start saving up for your, if you know you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, however many kids, start saving for their college. Put it in the, was it called a 529 plan or something like that? I heard about this recently. There's all these different like money market type of accounts essentially, that are directly for kids where like when they turn 18 or 21 years old, the money is fully theirs. Obviously like for school, you hope and all hope, but like just start investing in that stuff. Even if you're only putting $50 a month or $2,500, it all adds up. And again, we always talk about the power of compounding interest, what it can be worth over time. These aren't going to make probably your 12-15%, 10, 12, 15%, but from what I hear, they can make at least like a good 8%. So I mean, just again, get with like a good person, like a financial advisor, a good one, or again, like I always preach, learn to do it yourself. Learning to do it yourself. Now, I'm not saying be a jack of all trades, but learning to do everything yourself is always the best route to go. But if you just don't have the time or you don't feel like too confident about it, then by all means go see like a financial advisor about that. I personally would suggest going to like Dave Ramsey's website and going to the ELP section. He like only endorses people that are like willing to teach you so you completely understand, which I love. And I'm not like obviously like getting paid to say any of that stuff at all. I'm just saying that's what I would do personally, but I don't have any kids, so I don't gotta worry about it. But yeah. So pretty much what I'm just saying is like you can do this. This entire thing I just did, the $459 per month extra, was based off of someone making around $22,000 per year, which obviously I make more than that. But for that month specifically, it's based off of just $22,000 per year after taxes. while splitting the general. I already mentioned that, where I was like splitting with a roommate, my girlfriend, whatever. If you are in a tough situation where you're only making $22,000 a year, look at getting a roommate, rooming up with a friend, buddy, until you can like get your income up. Try to get the income up, of course. And then obviously most people are bringing home $30,000 to $40,000 per year, which is what, about $2,500 to $3,000 per month bring home. So there's really no excuse for you to be in debt, and there's definitely no excuse for you to not retire a decamillionaire. Period. And like, I wanted to also mention, why bother learning individual stocks? You all saw that I mentioned in caps, invest in individual stocks. And a lot of people say, do not do this, stick with the mutual fund, stick with this, stick with that. But the average return per year, and I love Roth IRAs, Roth 401ks, all that good stuff, but the average return on those is usually around 10 to 12%. And obviously there's down years, up years. We already talked about that. You'll have some years where you make 2%, some years where you'll make 20. I mean, there's averaging 10 to 12% per year is what they're averaging, and that's based off S&P 500. If you do your homework and invest wisely, you can literally double that amount, guys. If you invest just to put in perspective, if you invest $250 per month from age 25 to age 65, averaging right in the middle, around 11% per year, you'll have $2.2 million, which is not bad. You can obviously live off that. It's obviously going to keep making money too after that, because it's not like you're going to pull all $2.2 million out at once. You just slowly pull out as you need it, so to speak. But $2.2 million, which is fine, of course. But if you invest $250 per month from age 25 to 65, averaging 22%, doubling that, which is easily doable, guys, you will have $83.5 million by age 65 if you don't pull out until age 65. Which obviously you're probably going to making that much money, let's be honest here. But it's just, and people think all the time 22% is unrealistic. It's not unrealistic at all. Warren Buffett, for the longest time, I think they said 25 years, was averaging like 24 to 30+%. Obviously, he's one of the greatest investors of all time, but he literally started just like everyone else did. He started in his office, in his house, and, well, actually, he started as a young boy, of course, but, he just was dedicated. He did his homework every single night on stocks. Now, do you have to be as, like, into papers? Obviously, he was born way before. He was into this way before you could easily hop on Robinhood and do it for free and all that. But there's no excuse for you to not average, like, at least 19 to 20%, guys, easily. Which is still going to be, like, if I remember right, over $76 million. I did the math for, like, every percent from, like, 15 to 25. And I easily think that you can do 25 to 30 if you really, really wanted to, guys. I mean, it's really, really not that hard. It just depends on how much time you can dedicate to it, how much time you can spend at your screen. Can you leave your feelings out of your trades? Learn to cover the profits, learn to cut the losses when needed, because let's be real, you are going to have losses. That's just part of the game, but that's where, again, it averages out to 22%. You're going to have some months where you do 10%, and you're like, wow, I'm on track to do like 100% this month. You're probably not going to do that. You're going to have a month where you're actually red, let's be real. You're going to have like a -3% or something like that. But if you can get through the year and average that 20 to 30%, you will be sitting at probably close to, at least, let's say that's half wrong, you're at $41 million. So, hopefully that at least lights a little bit of fire under your tail to maybe look at investing in individual stocks. I obviously do not suggest any specific stocks whatsoever. I think that's pumping and dumping, especially if you have any type of audience. But obviously I do live trading on here, so well, I don't right now, obviously, since I'm paying off debt and I got a whole situation with moving still going on. But by the end of the year, for sure, I'm going to be back investing, swing trading. I'll start out swing trading, like I told you guys. I'll start out swing trading until I get to $25,000, hopefully by the end of 2019. And when I get to $25,000, then we will finally go in and do this full time and start the end goal. In all honesty, I keep hearing people that I know specifically asking what my end goal is. I'm like, it's not just about getting rich, it's about building a legacy and showing people that you can literally start from absolutely nothing, start from almost filing for bankruptcy at 18, 19 years old, 8 to 10 maxed out credit cards, personal loans, car loans, to being a 100 million plus net worth. That's just the end goal. It's not about the money, it's about the legacy at the end of the day. Because let's be real, after a certain amount of money, the money doesn't matter anymore. So, again, it's all out there for the getting. It's all out there for anybody who's willing to get it. Like I said, I'm always here. Like I mentioned in the description box, I was like, I think I put that here actually. Yeah, sorry about that. Like I said, the destiny's up to you essentially. It's all about how much you're willing to sacrifice today in order to have a better tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. And like I put down here, if you always feel free to like reach out to me, guys. If you have like any questions or have any like difficulties, want help on anything within your budget, or what you should pay off first, anything like that, you can always feel free to message me on YouTube. Apparently you can do that. I've been meaning to check it. I still forget that you can message on YouTube. I need to check it actually. It's been a few months since I looked. But you can also reach out to me on the social media accounts that are in my description box, all that good stuff. And obviously the Discord chat. We're up to like 30, I think 30 some odd members now. That's an awesome group full of future millionaires, of course. We're all in this together at the end of the day, guys. Like, obviously, if you do nothing but just sit on the couch eating your potato chips and watching the news, you're never going to invest, because they're always telling you the sky is falling, whatever president's in office is the worst thing that's ever happened in this country, blah, 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 and you're never going to do anything. You're just going to be like, and then you'll just start doing what everyone else does. You'll roll into debt. You'll go get a car payment. The average car payment, I just can't get over the fact that people are investing the average car payment is now over $500 per month. I know I'm getting off on a tangent here, but it's just really quick. People are investing over $500 per month in something that's going to go down 60% in value over 2 to 5 years. If I told you to go invest in a stock that was going to go down 60% in 2 to 5 years, would you do it? I just don't understand that. I'll probably go on a rant here in a future video about car payments again, because it's about that time. I haven't ranted on it in a while, and I could literally upload that video every week. I want the whole world to see it, because it's just insane that people do stupid stuff like that. But yeah, just go out there and do it, guys. Like I said, you can always reach out to me. I'm gonna go ahead and check the chat really quickly. How's it going, Josh? Good afternoon now. It's already going on 2 o'clock here. Great advice. Thanks. That's what it's all about here. And I don't know if you guys like these kind of videos. If you do, definitely let me know. Either way, I'm probably gonna do them regardless, just because I can do all the videos about like stocks and whatnot in the world, but if you don't, it's not about how to make the money, it's how to manage the money. God's not gonna give you, and I know there's gonna be people that probably don't believe in God and whatnot, but whatever. At least from my point of view, he's not going to give you more money to manage, so to speak, if you can't manage the money, you can't manage the blessings he's already given you. So, if you don't know how to manage your money now, you just have to start with that. You're not going to be a good investor if you don't. It's just like building blocks, essentially. It's like building a house. You can't build a house without a good foundation. So, you can't expect to build wealth whenever you don't even know if you're going to be able to fill up your gas tank today. So, literally, ever since I started doing a budget, I don't even think about filling up my car now. Like, I don't think about, I'm only going to put $10 in it. I still try to save money, don't get me wrong. If I know gas prices are going to go up, like I saw across the street the other day that gas was at like $2.69, $2.79, but then across the street it was still $2.54. Of course, I was like, shit, before that other one goes up, I'm going to go over there and top off. But I don't sit there and go, man, do I have enough money to fill up my tank? Can I put $5 in it? I just fill it up. Because why? I have the budget. I know that, okay, I have 150 whatever amount for gas. I've only filled up twice this month. We're already almost at the end of the month. I've only spent $50 on gas. Good to go. Just fill it up and go. So, it's literally, you will be amazed if you just do a budget. Do the first budget. I guarantee, if you don't believe me, go home, do the budget, stick to it for 1 to 2 months, pay off a couple credit cards or something. Don't even do that. Just get the emergency fund and tell me after doing the budget for 2 or 3 months, 90 days essentially, give this 90 days. Do the budget 2 or 3 times, get your emergency fund, and tell me how you feel after that if you don't believe this whole deal. Literally, let me know in the comments if you don't agree with it. and let me know if you actually tried. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this video. I'm sure we're like over half an hour now. Yeah, shocker. Well, not too much, only 35 minutes. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys did like it. If you like the presentation type of video, definitely let me know. I know we were talking about me like getting a whiteboard or something. But in the meantime, I was trying to like at least have everything like this where you guys can like write the numbers down. I'm gonna keep this one up because this one is very important for like why you should consider actually literally trading. Like, I'm not saying you have to day trade, because I know a lot of you have like full-time jobs like myself, like do swing trading. You can average this swing trading as well, guys. Obviously, like I said, the more you can look at it, the better. Sometimes the worse, because then you let your feelings get involved. But I mean, this is literally 2B is attainable, guys. I mean, just look at it. Look at the difference. Over $80 million difference on the line. So, if you guys did like this kind of format, definitely let me know, either in the chat or in the comments after the video uploads, or in Discord as well, wherever you want to reach out to me at. For those of you in Discord, I might hop on here for a little bit, yeah, because it's only about 2 o'clock. Want to talk a little bit about oil. And want to talk about Facebook again, because Facebook, last I checked, was down like another 6-7% today, which might be a great buying. I'm going to tell you if it's a great buying opportunity or you should stay away. So if you're not in Discord chat, definitely hop in there. It's one of the first few links in the description box. And then, of course, I have my favorite book, Compound Interest, in the description box as well if you want to check that out. It's like a $7, $10 book. I'm not going to lie, I do get like a very, very small commission off that, but if you don't like it, if you don't want it, whatever. If you do, it's an awesome book, especially for investing. I promise you it's worth that $7 to $10. I thought it was a good format. Awesome, thanks. Thank you. But, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and wrap it up. Like I said, I'll be in Discord probably here within the next 15 minutes. Just going to go get a drink, use the bathroom, and stuff like that. But, yeah, I'll hop on Discord here in a minute, guys. And until next time, guys, keep on going out there making those profits, covering your profits, and achieving some financial freedom this year. And I'll see you guys hopefully before the end of the week for sure. Take it easy, guys.